Hello, we're going to talk about our project of the School of the Future. The group consists of Johan Perdomo, Diego Alfonso, and Camilo Cortés. Our school's policies regarding admissions are based primarily on socioeconomic and cultural diversity. Students from all social strata and even those with certain motor or cognitive disabilities can enter this school. For the latter, appropriate teaching techniques will be available, but it will be sought to incorporate them with the rest of the students in other activities. To guarantee this diversity, percentages will be assigned for each group within the total number of places. For example, we could have 40% for strata 1 and 2, 30% for strata 3 and 4, and 30% for strata 5 and 6. Admission for new students will be given in years 1, 3, 5, and 7. From the 8th year onwards, no new students will be received. This because it seeks to maintain a constant process. For the staff, it will seek to employ people from the community. We want the school to be a promoter of good coexistence in the development of society, so incorporating neighboring citizens in school activities is of great importance. Regarding financing, we have decided that the best model is the public-private one. The school, on the one hand, will receive money from student tuition. For students of low socioeconomic status, the tuition will have a minimum value, quite small, only symbolic. In the case of students with a higher socioeconomic status, tuition will have a maximum value. On the other hand, the school will have financial support from the public sector given its justified educational work in support of the community. And in addition, it is expected to receive contributions from private funds. In our school, important decision making will take place in a council of representatives. This council will be made up of students, community representatives, certain professors, and director, as well as a psychologist and the person in charge of finances. However, anyone in the community may submit ideas to improve the school, which will be reviewed and discussed.
Thus, one of the most important parameters is knowing for whom the school of the future is going to be designed. Therefore, we take into account the following parameters: age, gender, type of socioeconomic population, and the location of the school. About age, the same age range of common schools will be used, that is, the entry will be allowed from the age of 6 years old. Since from Plato's perspective the importance of education at an early age has been understood, and enrollment in the institution will be allowed up to the 13 years. This is because I've mentioned it above, only children will be allowed to enroll up to a maximum of 7th year, so that approximately the age of 17 or 18 the graduation is carried out. About gender, the school of the future will be mixed, that is, both men and women will be able to enter school and they will both have the same condition. Also, diversity in school will be encouraged. About the type of socioeconomic population, as mentioned above too, a balance will be found to allow access to the new school both for people who have enough resources and for people who do not have so much money. Mm, Since what the School of the Future seeks is plurality and equal conditions for all. And finally, the decision about the location was made for a central area, such as the center of Bogota in Colombia, where most of the inhabitants of the city can have access to this place without any limitation. Another important issue in the design of our school of the future is concerning the physical structures and processes that will take place in the school. In this way, concerning the architecture of the school, it will be composed of modern design representing contemporary art. This design will have green roof so that the students' contact with nature can be the maximum, in addition to not harming nature at any time. In addition, the lighting in the building is going to be very important, therefore large windows that allow light to pass into the classroom will be necessary. And finally, wide spaces that allow the best use of the students.
Now, regarding the design of the learning spaces, this section was divided into parts: spaces inside the school and spaces outdoors. For the spaces within the school, classrooms are proposed that promote the interaction of students for the first years. This objective could be met by following some principles proposed by Maria Montessori, who proposes organized and clean education classrooms, designed for the size of the students as this supports the order of their ideas. Likewise, two possible organizations are proposed for these classrooms. The first is based on a round-table organization where all students have the possibility of seeing each other and seeing the teacher. The second organization is based on group tables where students form groups and, explained by Montessori, learn from each other more easily. On the other hand, in terms of outdoor spaces, some Rousseau principles were followed, since several green areas are planned where students can carry out some practical activities and interact with nature. According to Rousseau, learning through the sense can become more fruitful. On the other hand, regarding the proposed curriculum, we decide to divide it into two groups of courses. The first group is based on subjects that we consider essential for the basic formation of a student, such as basic sciences, which include maths, biology, physics, chemistry, among others. In addition, social sciences are included in this group, which will have the objective of forming a critical attitude in students. Within the social sciences, philosophy and ethics are included. A course is also proposed where the basic principles of various religions are taught, giving the student the possibility of forming a criterion against them. In addition, we plan to dedicate 3 or 4 days a year to affective days, where students are guided in their affective and sexual relationships in the case of older students, in addition to providing them with tools and experiences to reflect on topics such as drugs and variety of contexts. In addition, reading and history courses are proposed which promote knowledge of international and especially national culture. As stated in the text, what is indigenous knowledge? Which gives students the possibility of getting to know international culture as well as the local tradition, culture, and heritage. On the other hand, the second group of subjects is based on elective courses, from which students will have to choose an elective course that promotes physical activity through motorcycle development, recreation, and sports. Finally, another elective course is proposed that promotes some technical tasks such as carpentry, agriculture, computing, and some crafts.
Regarding the philosophy of learning and teaching, the school will place greater emphasis on teachers than on students. This, following what was said by Mahatma Gandhi, have they themselves received the training of the heart? For this reason, there will be a high selectivity for teachers as well as an educational program for them. Their work will be reciprocated with good working conditions. In relation to the students, it will seek to impart values highly emphasized by Gandhi in what he called education of the heart. These are discipline, productivity, obedience, and non-violence. In addition, in an experimentation component, we will seek to apply some of the learning ideas through personal experiences proposed by Jean-Jacques Rousseau. On the other hand, each student will be monitored by a tutor who will help them in a personalized way in their learning process. This is done with the aim of promoting student development through this personal companionship and support. This will allow the school to define profiles and adapt to the students.
Regarding the evaluation and assessment of students, a qualitative system by ranks is proposed, which will be based on four possible ranks: a single rank for students who fail an evaluation, and three ranks for students who pass an evaluation, which have acceptable, outstanding, and excellent. In addition, it's planned that the evaluation have several versions and attempts in a certain time, where it's verified that the students are really learning at their determined rate and the pressure of the grades is subtracted. For this part, it's very important that teachers adapt to the learning process of each student, since not all of the students are capable of learning at the same rate, and if the teacher is aware of this, the students feel more confident about the teacher and itself. Finally, we consider that it's important to include attitudinal tests that it is made sure that students feel a responsibility for their learning process and take ownership of it, becoming aware of the importance of education.